In general, a person is made of two aspects. He has a guf and a neshama. There's a major chiluk between these two aspects, which is that the guf has parts. Every part is different and separate and has a different function. Hands cannot smell, eyes cannot hear, etc. The neshama, on the other hand, is the life force. The neshama gives life to hands, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, equally. The pasuk in Iyov tells us that the physical world parallels the spiritual. And Chazal tell us that a person's guf is connected to Taryag Mitzvos. It's obvious that every mitzvah is separate. If a person wants to inject major kedusha into his sukkah, so he eats only shmura matzah, it's meaningless. It doesn't do anything, because matzah is for Pesach, and the lulav is for Sukkot, and if you shake that lulav at halal during the Seder, it's completely meaningless and probably usher, because it's muktzah. Every mitzvah has its time, whereas the neshama is connected to Torah. Torah has no time. There's no time when you can't learn Torah. If a person wants to learn Maseches Pesachim in his sukkah, it doesn't change anything. It's perfectly fine. You have the same mitzvah of Torah. Torah is like the neshama. It's the life force which fills everything. Now, what I want to bring out of this is we make a mistake, and we think that when I am learning a Tosfos and Ksubas, so what does that have to do with my life? Not much, because it's a Tosfos and Ksubas, we don't even paskin like it, etc., etc. What we don't understand is that just like the neshama fills the guf and gives life force to every aspect of our body, so too the Torah we learn is what gives the life force to our mitzvos. When a person does a chesed, he brings someone a cup of water, or he smiles at his wife, or he says hello to his children when they get home. What gives the power for that mitzvah? How does that mitzvah have strength? That mitzvah has strength from Torah. From the ksub, that Tosfos and Ksubas, that's where the strength comes from. Another thing we have to understand is that when we learn Torah, we sometimes say to ourselves, what does it matter? If I'll never finish Shas, I'll never be a Rav, why should I learn Hilchos Shabbos? I'll never be a Pesach. But that's also a big mistake. Every single word of Torah is neshama. Neshama gives life. And you'll see that life in your actions, which means in your mitzvahs. So when we learn the Tosfos and Ksubas, or one line of Mishnah Berurah in Hilchos Shabbos, that will change every mitzvah we do. When we put on our tefillin, the tefillin will be different. Because just like the neshama is the power which allows my hands to work, and allows my mouth to work, but my mouth and my hands are totally different, but it's the same life force, so too all the Taryag mitzvahs have a life force. That's the Torah. The more we learn, the more life force we will have in our mitzvahs, and the more powerful they will be.